the ascent of energy along the cerebrospinal system. On one auspicious day, sometime at 9 or 10 in the night, I was sitting and meditating on my bed next to my guru's room. The meditation must have lasted for nearly 2 hours. All of a sudden, I started feeling a strange kind of movement along my spine. The movement was akin to a frog leap. I learned later from my guru that it was the energy that had started surging up along my spine and also my entire back on both sides of the spine. At times it stopped, at times it moved, and at times it would jump and move on to a higher level along my spine. Finally, the movement stopped near the region of the heart on my spine. Let me explain very clearly that the experience of this phenomenon was certainly not pleasurable at all. In fact, I entered into a space of panic as I mentally observed the phenomenon unfolding. However, in retrospect, I can say that this experience was unique and amazing. It was the first time I directly experienced the physical movement and flow of energy inside my body. This experience defied all rational explanation by modern science. The reader can now well imagine the impact it made on my mind. All of what I had read in the yoga text was validated beyond any doubts through this experience. As a result, my conviction in the yoga text has become very firm. My faith in the yoga system has strengthened beyond any element of doubt. Later, my guru explained to me that what I had experienced was the beginning of the cleaning of the nerves or subtle channels of energy, or nadis, as they are called in Sanskrit, in the body. On the next day, I could not meet my guru due to some reason. I was sitting on a chair and meditating as usual. Soon I could feel something moving up along my spine. I was mentally expecting the movement as being like a frog leap, which I had experienced the night before. However, there was a total twist to the movement as the energy surged upwards. It twisted and twisted, something akin to the path of a snake as it moves on ground. I had read a lot of literature about Kundalini energy being linked to a snake. However, the experience was somewhat different. I had read a lot of literature about Kundalini energy being linked to a snake. However, the experience was somewhat different. It was frightening, of course. I was not really enjoying the experience, although I was elated at the manifestation of the Kriya. Again, the surging energy stopped near the heart region on my spine. At the end of the session, I realized that it had lasted for 3 to 4 hours. After lunch on the same day, I again felt like meditating. This time the session lasted for another 3 hours or so with the similar experience. I was in a sort of total daze all day. I again sat down to meditate on the same day after dinner. This time the session lasted for about 2.5 hours. So I clocked about 9.5 hours of meditation on that single day, a feat which I had not been able to repeat till date. On the next day, when I met my guru, His Holiness explained that although 9.5 hours of meditation was no big deal as such for yogis, it was indeed surprising for a guy of my status. His Holiness further said that this long session of meditation in one single day was a Kriya. Here I would like to inform the reader that a Kriya does not necessarily occur in one session itself. It might get prolonged over an entire day like the one I experienced. His Holiness also told me that this sort of Kriya usually took place as a result of serious meditation practices done by the practitioner in the past. Remember that even the impressions of good action performed in the past needs to get erased from the mind, on par with the bad actions performed. As far as yoga is concerned, it does not give a damn to an earthly good action or bad action. As I said earlier, all the doctrines, dogmas, philosophies and everything and anything ever accumulated in the mind needs to get erased from the eternal light of knowledge absolute to shine. Let me further elaborate on this. Let us suppose that a person did a lot of meditation or yoga practice in his or her past life. The sensual impressions of the practice itself must have been recorded in the subconscious mind. Even this record needs to get erased once and for all. Otherwise, this memory, which was etched in the mind in the past life, will also act as a mask and prevent the light of absolute knowledge from shining. Similarly, if a person performed a lot of good actions in the form of religious practices, let me further elaborate on this. Let us suppose that a person did a lot of meditation or yoga practice in his or her past life. The sensual impressions of the practice itself must have been recorded in the subconscious mind. Even this record needs to get erased once and for all. Otherwise, this memory which was etched in the mind in the past life will also act as a mask and prevent the light of absolute knowledge from shining. Similarly, if a person performed a lot of good actions in the form of religious practices, social service, donations to charity, etc. in his or her past life, all these actions altogether good from the earthly point of view must have etched memories of pride, etc. subconsciously on the mind. Even these memories must be erased from the mind for the absolute knowledge to shine. On the following day, I had yet another experience while meditating. Readers are requested to pardon me for not remembering the exact dates and also for not mentioning the mantras and places deliberately. As I was undoing this experience, I had never planned to write a book one day. Therefore, I had never maintained any diary recording of the experiences. Since this time has come to write these experiences, I have tried my best to recollect my memories. As a result, there could be some minor errors in the sequence of events and experiences. As I was undergoing these experiences, I had never planned to write a book one day. Therefore, I had never maintained any diary recording the experiences. Since the time has come to write these experiences, I have tried my best to recollect my memories. As a result, there could be some minor errors in the sequence of events and experiences. On this occasion, while I was meditating, the energy started surging upward as usual. This time, the experience was totally different. It was something akin to a large number of ants trying to climb up my backside. I felt like scratching my back because the sensation was very prickly. Again, the movement of energy stopped near the region of my heart on the spine. Later, on the following day, I narrated the experience to my Guru. His Holiness said that soon the energy would surge further upward and it would manifest on each and every muscle of my head, including my ears, eyes, nose, mouth, cheeks and hair. In fact, His Holiness said it would even go out into the external world from top of my head. After these experiences, I had to take leave from my Guru in order to go back to my place of duty and live the balanced destiny of my life. Here, I would like to inform all the readers that the ascent of Kundalini energy along my cerebrospinal system was completely consistent with what has been expounded in the yoga text, except from one particular movement pattern of the energy. The energy is also supposed to make a movement that is akin to a flying bird. However, I would like to humbly submit that this kind of movement too appeared to have taken place on my spine, but I am unable to recollect the experience with clarity. Hence, I am not making any outright claim on that particular movement pattern. As I will subsequently elaborate the movement patterns of Kundalini energy along my cerebrospinal system, turned out to be very complex. Given the fact that I had never maintained any diary recording the experiences, it is extremely difficult in narrating all the experiences. I continued to practice my meditation regularly, and the ascent of energy along the spine too continued. During one session of the sessions of meditation, the energy has risen to the navel region on my spine, called Manipura chakra in yoga systems. The rising energy halted at the region and started moving around my spine very rapidly in a very strange manner. This movement pattern cannot be compared with any known ordinary movement. All that I can say is that I experienced a complex and very rapid movement of the energy on my spine. However, the movement was localized and did not spread to other regions on back. Similarly, during many sessions of meditation, I experienced further strange patterns of the movement of the energy. Sometimes it felt as if the movement of the energy was going along a very thin path, almost as if it was piercing through the center of my spine. After a long session of meditation, I used to feel completely subdued and docile. However, I would like to describe another type of kriya that I experienced in my head. I used to feel the sort of pressure in my head continuously for years. Along with the pressure, my head was subjected to a sort of alcoholic effect continuously day and night. Only for a very brief time, mostly after waking up in the morning, I used to feel lighter in the head. Otherwise, my head was continuously subjected to some kind of strange effect, as if some chemical reaction was occurring inside my brain. Besides this, whenever the energy ascended to my cerebral region, I would continuously feel its movement along my scalp. However, I never felt any side effects from this mayhem inside my cerebral region, either physically or in my normal daily routine.